Hi everyone. So welcome to my knowledge session. So this knowledge session is all about how we can monitor our Azure SQL database with the Azure Monitor and the Managed Grafana. So before moving to the session, let's know the knowledge etiquettes. First one is punctuality. Join the session 5 minutes prior to the session start time, as we can start on time and conclude on time. Feedback. Make sure to submit a constructive feedback for all the sessions, as it is very helpful for the presenter. Silent mode. Keep your mobile devices in silent mode and feel free to move out of the session in case you need to attend any urgent call. Uh, Next one is avoid disturbance. So avoid unwanted chit chat during the session. Now let's talk about the agenda. So today's agenda is, firstly, we will look into what is the importance of monitoring Azure SQL database, the overview of Azure Monitor and the Azure Managed Grafana, the benefits of SQL database monitoring, how we can set up the Azure Monitor for SQL database, and how we can visualize the SQL database data with Azure Managed Grafana. And we'll ending up the session by the demo part. So let's start. So firstly, I will talk about the importance of monitoring Azure SQL database. So as we all know, database serves as the backbone for the applications and the business operations. And if we talk about the Azure SQL databases, it is a cloud-based relational database service from Microsoft, and it is widely used for its scalability, flexibility, and ease of use. It is vital to ensure that the Azure SQL database are running optimally and securely. And if talk about monitoring it, monitoring plays a very vital and crucial role by providing the visibility into the database performances. And effective monitoring helps us to identify the performance bottlenecks, such as the slow query response times and the resource contents constraints, and many more. Monitoring is essential for maintaining security and compliances, and regular monitoring ensures that the performance of the SQL database and its performance of the SQL database and below are some of the points which are crucial for monitoring the Azure SQL. So these are performance monitoring, proactive issue resolution, resource management, security and compliance, and business continuity. Now let's talk about them in brief. What performance optimization means? It means it allows us to identify and addresses the performance bottlenecks, such as the slow query execution and the resource constraints, and also the smooth and efficient database operations. With the help of performance optimization, we can also track the matrices like CPU usage, memory utilization, and query response times, and also improve the overall application performance. Now, the proactive issue resolution, it means we can detect and resolve the potential issues before they escalate into critical problems, minimizing the downtime and maintaining the high availability. And we can also set up alerts and notifications, provided early warnings about the anomalies or failures, which allows us for quick intervention and the problem resolution. Next one is the resource management. So if I talk about the resource management, uh, monitoring for SQL databases helps manage to resource effectively by identifying the underutilized or overused resources, which can lead to cost saving and improved resource allocation. And insights into resources consumption patterns enable you to scale resources up or down based on the actual demand and optimize cost efficiency. The next one is the security and compliance. So monitoring ensures that the security of your Azure SQL database by detecting the unauthorized access attempts, potential vulnerabilities, and suspicious activities. And it also helps us to maintain the compliance with industry regulations and standards by providing audit trails and reports for security assessments and the audits. Last but not the least, business continuity. It also helps us to contributes to business continuity by ensuring that the critical applications and services relying on Azure SQL database remain operational without disruption. And it also supports the disaster recovery by planning identifying the potential failure points and providing insights into backup and recovery processes. So this is the thing why monitoring is important for the SQL databases. Now let's move to the next slide, which is a little bit overview of Azure Monitor and Azure Managed Grafana. We'll talk about them in brief in the later slides. So what Azure Monitor is, it is a cloud-based service offered by Microsoft that collects, analyzes, and acts on a telemetry data from the Azure resources. And it also provides a centralized platform to monitor the performance and health of application and the infrastructure. And Azure Managed Grafana is a fully managed service for Grafana, which is a popular open source platform for visualizing time series data. And it provides built-in high availability and reliability, ensuring that the dashboards remain accessible and performant without requiring manual intervention. Now, and if we talk about the Azure Monitor and Azure Managed Grafana together, so they can offer a unified monitoring solution that provides deep insights into our SQL databases, performance, security, and availability. And this powerful combination allows organization to visualize the matrices, set up various alerts that helps us to recognize the errors and check the SQL database status as it is connected or not. And it also gain actionable insight to optimize the database operational and effectively. So by the end of the session, we will understand the importance of monitoring and how these tools can help us to ensure the optimal performance and security of the Azure SQL databases. Now let's talk about in brief about Azure Monitor. Azure Monitor is a powerful integrated monitoring service tool provided by Microsoft Azure, and it is designed to collect, analyze, and act on telemetry data from the cloud and on-premise environments. By delivering a comprehensive solution for monitoring applications, infrastructures, and the network components, Azure Monitor helps us to ensure optimal performance and availability. And it includes some of the features which is important for the Azure Monitor. The first one is the data collection, real-time monitoring and visualization, alerts and notification, application insights, auto-scaling and automation, and the network monitoring. So if I talk about data collection, Azure Monitor collects matrices that provides numerical values to track performance and logs that contain detailed records of the system events. And we can also build in custom matrices that support by Azure Monitor, and it specific aspects of your application and infrastructure that are unique to your business requirements. Real-time monitoring and visualization, it means Azure Monitor offers customizable dashboards that allows us to visualize data in real time, and also making it easier to spot trends and anomalies. And through the log and Azure Monitor logs, we can also perform complex queries to analyze log data and derive actionable insights, enabling data-driven decision making. The next one is the alerts and notification. So Azure Monitor also helps us to provide alerting capabilities that allows us to set up the alerts rule based on the specific conditions and thresholds, and it ensures that we are promptly notified of potential issues, enabling proactive management and the quick response times. The next one is the auto scaling and automation. So auto scaling capabilities ensures that the automatic scaling of our Azure resources based on the real-time demands, helping ensure optimal resource utilization and the cost efficiency. And the automation capability helps us to integrate with the Azure automation and logic apps. Azure Monitor enables automated responses to alerts and triggers, allowing for self-healing and reduce manual interventions. Next one is the network monitoring. So network monitoring in Azure Monitor, network monitoring helps us to provide tools for monitoring network performances and connectivity. And it also helps us to identify the network bottlenecks, latency issues, and connectivity problems that may impact our applications and the database. I left application insights. So what does it mean? Azure Monitor integrates with the application insights in order to provide deep insights about our application performance and usage pattern. And it also uh, helps us to interact with the both client side and the server side components of our application, providing a comprehensive view of applications, health, and user experience. Now let's move to the next slide. Yeah, the main thing how Azure Monitor works is the architecture of the Azure Monitor. So as you can see, we have data sources, data platform, and consumption. So data sources are the type of the resources that are being monitored. I'll show you all these things while demoing. So this is the data source. What are the resources that has been monitored, and the data is collected and routed to the data platform. Clicking on the data platform, like you see, and the data platform stores and collect the monitoring data. And Azure Monitor core data platform has a store for matrices, log traces, and changes. And the consumption, it means this is the method which includes tools to provide insights, visualize, and analyze data. So this flow, how it works, we should have the data sources, for now, we are going to monitor the SQL database. We will be using Azure Monitor, metrics, logs, and traces, and we will be sending this data to somewhere like Log Analytic Workspace, where we can store our SQL database logs and matrices. And then after that, we can visualize them on Grafana. Azure also provide its inbuilt tool where we can see that matrices, but for better understanding and monitoring, we'll be using the Azure Managed Grafana platform. This is how architecture works. Now let's talk about the benefits of SQL database monitoring. So first one is enhanced security and compliance. Monitoring SQL databases with Azure Monitor helps ensure compliance with security policies and regularity requirements by providing the detailed audit logs and tracking user activities. This also helps us to ensure the database security and protect sensitive data from the unauthorized accesses and potential breaches. The second one is resource optimization and cost management. Azure Monitor aids in optimizing the database resources by analyzing usage patterns and identifying the over-provision or underutilized resources. This enables better cost management and helps allocate resources more efficiently based on the actual demands. Next one is the integration with the Azure ecosystem. So Azure Monitor seamlessly integrates with the other Azure services, such as Azure Security Center, Azure Policy, and Azure Automation, providing a unified monitoring solution. And this integration ensures consistent monitoring across all Azure resources and simplifies management processes. The fourth one is the customized alerts and reporting. So with Azure Monitor, we can create our custom alerts and reports to the specific SQL database monitoring needs. And this customization allows us to focus on the most critical aspects of the database performance and the security, and also ensuring timely intervention and informed decision making. The next one is comprehensive performance insights. So Azure Monitor provides the detailed performance matrices and logs for Azure databases such as the CPU, memory, query performance, deadlock detection, status of the connections of the databases. And this enables database administrators to identify performance bottlenecks and optimize query execution for the enhanced performance. The last one is the proactive issues and detection and resolution. By setting up the alerts and the threshold for critical SQL database matrices, Azure Monitors allows us to proactively detect anomalies and potential issues before they impact users. And this proactive approach ensures minimum downtime and maintain high availability for the databases. These are some of the important benefits of SQL database monitoring, which I mentioned. We have more, but these are some of the important ones. Now let's move to the next slide and talk about Azure Managed Grafana in detail. So Azure Managed Grafana is a fully managed service by Microsoft that provides seamless integration with the Azure services. and data sources, making it an ideal choice for visualizing and analyzing the telemetry data. It also offers the powerful data visualization capabilities, enabling the organization to gain insights into the infrastructure and application with the ease. And we have some of the important features of Azure Managed Grafana, which are listed as Grafana is a fully managed service. It is rich in data visualization. It includes extensive plugin ecosystem, advanced alerting and capabilities, security and access control, and the cost efficient. It is a fully managed service as it takes care of the underlying infrastructure, ensuring that we don't have to worry about the setup, maintenance, or the updates. It allows us to focus on building and using dashboards without the operational overheads. They are rich in data visualization as user can create highly customizable dashboards to specific business needs, providing insights to a wide variety of visualization. Extensive plugin ecosystem. Grafana Azure Managed Grafana supports a vast library of plugins that extend its functionality, helps us to enabling integration with the various data sources and adding custom visualizations and panels. The next one is the advanced alerting capabilities. User can define complex alert rules based on the data from multiple sources and set up the alerts to be delivered via various channels such as email, Slack, or Microsoft Teams. Next one is the security and access control. Azure Managed Grafana provides secure and seamless authentication using AAD, which is Azure Active Directory, enabling single sign-on and role-based access control RBAC to manage permissions effectively. The cost, next one is the cost efficient. So yeah, Azure Managed Grafana offers a cost-effective pricing model that allows us to pay only for what we are using, making it scalable and budget-friendly. Now let's see why we use Azure Managed Grafana. So it is a powerful and flexible platform for monitoring and visualizing data across Azure resources and services. So we have some of the points which tells that why we use Azure Managed Grafana. So this is first one is seamless integration with the Azure services. So it makes it easy to connect and visualize data from the various Azure resources, including the Azure Monitor, Azure SQL Databases, Azure Storage, and more. We have the advanced visualization capabilities. So Grafana is renowned for its advanced visualization capabilities, and Azure Managed Grafana takes full advantages of these features. Users can create highly customized dashboards that present data in a visualized, appealing, and very easy to understand format. Next one is simplified management and maintenance. So it helps us in managing and maintaining the various resources that we have, and as it is a fully managed service, it eliminates the need for users to handle infrastructure setup, updates, and scaling. And as you can see, it can also access a wide variety of data sources supported, including your data stores in Azure and anywhere else. Yeah, so I've talked about all these points. Now let's see how we can set up Azure Monitor for SQL databases. I will talk about the things in the right now in the theory. I'll tell you in the demo as well. So first we have to access the Azure Monitor. So we have to log into the Azure portal and search for Monitor instead of Azure Monitor, and we'll see our Azure Monitor GUI. Next, we have to configure log analytic workspace. So to enable the monitoring for the Azure SQL database, we have to create a log analytic workspace where we can store our matrices and logs for the Azure SQL database. We can also set up alerts and matrices, alerts for various critical errors that we have, and matrices for monitoring the SQL connection, errors, data deadlocks, and memory, anything. Visualizing data with Grafana. So we will be using Grafana to visualize the SQL database matrices and logs, and continuous monitoring and optimization. So we can regularly review matrices and alerts to ensure that they reflects current performance baseline and thresholds, and enable advanced monitoring features means we can utilize SQL insights and advanced monitoring feature in Azure Monitor to gain up the deep insights of the database performance. The last slide is that we can visualize the data with the Azure Managed Grafana. Yeah, so we have to access to the Azure Managed Grafana. I'll show you how we can do that. We have to look for the data source of data source Azure Monitor, and then we have to select our resource over there, as we have to monitor the SQL database, and we can use the metrics for which we want to monitor, and we can visualize them on Grafana. Now let's move to the demo. Yeah, so as I told you that you have to search Monitor instead of Azure Monitor. So this is the Monitor overview. And if you can see in the insights section, so these are all of the resources that Azure Monitor is going to monitor. So before doing this, you have your SQL database running. So I have already created, but if you want to create, you can simply click on create. And you have to fill some of the details over here, like the subscription, the resource group, the database name, the server. If you have any, then you can choose from here. If not, then you have to create new one. The workload environment, you have to select development, and the backup storage redundancy. You have to click on review and create, and your SQL database will be created. But I have already created it, and I have already configured my demo Grafana, the Grafana. So this instance will be created when you will search about Azure Managed Grafana in the section, and you have to create it. This is very simple to create. You have to select your subscription, resource group name, the location, the instance name, the pricing, Grafana version, which is already selected, and that's it. And you have to choose review and create. So this is how. So I've already created my Grafana. So now what we have to do, we have to enable our SQL database monitoring, because we have to visualize this data on our Grafana. So to enable monitoring, we have to enable the diagnostic setting for the database. So as you can see, for now, there is no diagnostic setting enabled. So once we enable our diagnostic setting, our data like SQL insights, automatic querying, query store, runtime static, blocks, deadlock, basics, all these which are mentioned over here will be monitored by our Grafana. But for now, we have to store this data somewhere. So we will be creating one log analytic workspace, which would be holding our all these data. So now let's create log analytic workspace. You can simply search for log analytic. Yeah. Resource group. I have already my resource group name. I have given this and the region. It's created. Till the workspace is creating, let me tell you that Grafana needs to read the data that we have in our log analytic workspace. So we have to assign the roles to our Grafana instance. So let me show you. As we have to give the log analytics contributor and the reader role to our Grafana. I have already given it, as you can see over here. Our Grafana have a log analytics contributor and reader role. If this is not with the Grafana, then Grafana is not able to read the data from that workspace, from the Azure Monitor, right? So we have to give this role to it. And how you can simply click on add role assignment. You have to select the role over here. Let's go to the members, manage identity, which is our Grafana. If you select, you will select from here Azure Managed Grafana and the Grafana URL, and you can simply click on select. So like this way, you will give the role to the Grafana. Now let's see the log analytic workspace is created or not. it is created demo WS. Now let's enable the monitoring for the SQL database. So let's move to the database. One more thing, before proceeding to it, we also have to register the resource provider at the subscription level before, because if we don't have a resource Microsoft that Insights enable, we are not able to enable the monitoring. We are not able to enable the diagnostic settings. Let me show you from here. You will see the resource providers. Yeah, in the subscription, you will go to the settings and you'll find the resource provider section. And here you have to select for Microsoft Insights, and you can see it is enabled. This is for enabling the diagnostic setting for every resource that we want to monitor. And second one is Microsoft.monitor, which is used to read the data or create any dashboard on the Grafana. So these two resource providers should be registered with your subscription. Let's move forward and enable the monitoring. So here you can go to your demo database, the diagnostic setting. And from here you will add diagnostic setting. You can see you have to give the diagnostic name. I am giving demo DS for now. You have to select the categories you want to monitor. Like for now, I'm selecting all logs audit and all the matrices, the basic, instance and app advanced, workload management. So all these logs and matrices need to be sent somewhere. So destination will be log analytic workspace, already selected. And there are some more destination, which is the archive to a storage account, stream to Elephant Hub, and send to partner solution. But for now, I'm showing you sending it to the log analytic workspace, and you have to save this. Yes, so our diagnostic setting, our monitoring is enabled. Now let's move to the Grafana. So if you go to the Grafana instance, you will get the endpoint of the Grafana from here in the overview of Grafana instance. One more thing to remember, you should have monitoring monitoring role to access the Grafana. So while creating, you will get one option to give the role. I have already assigned. Let me show you. Yeah. So me have a Grafana admin role because I have given it until if I don't have the admin role to the Grafana, I cannot access the Grafana instance. So yeah, as you can see, our Grafana is actively running. Now let's see. Now let's first connect the database to test if it is showing the data or not. So to connect, we should go to the query editor. We have a login ID password. While creating the demo, you will get your login ID. You have to set it by yourself. Let's connect. Let me show you that. Now let's see if we can visualize the data or not. So we have a Azure Monitor over here. Let me select it. And if you from here, you can see the services as metrics, logs, traces, and the Azure resource graphs. So I will show you the matrices. Select a resource. If you click on it, you will see your subscription name over here. As mine is a free trial, you are seeing it over here. Now here from in the free trial, what we have, like the resource, you can see the resource group as demo and the Grafana workspace. In that workspace, log analytic workspace, SQL server, SQL database. So I am going to show you the database. So let's select it. Now from here, you will choose the matrices. Let me scroll down a little. Yeah, see, as you can see, the CPU percentage, data IO percentage, data space, use, successful connection. So we will check for now the successful connections total. For now, you can see the connection is 0. Let me check if it is connected or not. The server is not currently configured to accept this token. Yeah, as you can see, my database is not connecting for now. As it's showing, the server is not currently configured to accept this token. So I have select the metrics as failed connection, and you can see I have connected it for 3 times, and it is saying that we have a system error, so we are not able to connect it. But yeah, like this. So if database is connected, we'll show the connection status over here. And if we have any data, then we can see the CPU percentage as well. We don't have anything. Let me check for the memory. Data space was full. So right now we don't have anything our SQL database, so it is saying as 0. So for the failed connections, as you can see, we are having a system errors. We can create alerts like from here yeah, my database is not saved yet. Yeah, it is saved. So from here you can see the alert, and you can see there are no alert tool linked to this panel for now. So you can simply click on new alert, and here you can get the new alert tool. So you have to give your alert name like failed connections for now. Define the query. So query is already defined as we are creating the alert for the visualization. So here we have Azure Monitor, failed connection, and the aggregation as maximum. And here you have this alert condition up is above 0. Then you will trigger. Then you will get a mail where you want to configure. You can configure labels and notifications, and you can save rule and exit. Yeah, for now we can't create an alert because as I have a free trial, so I don't have any evaluation group. But yeah, if you select this, let me try it. Yeah, we don't have any evaluation group, and you can save rule and exit. Your alert is ready to trigger, and you can search it for. You can send it to Teams channel or the Slack or anything else. Now let's explore more to this. So if I go to the home section, and here you can see we have the dashboards, playlists, snapshots, library panels, the alerting. We can create the alert rules, notification policies. From here we can set up the notification to the place where we want to notify to the teams for the errors. The connections, like from here we can connect to our different data sources. As if I show you the data, so for now we are connected to Azure Monitor, and if we want to connect to any other, then we have Prometheus. So it will scrape the matrices from the AKS cluster, Azure AKS cluster, the Graphite, InfluxDB, and many more. And if I talk about administration, then we have journal where we can set up the administrator plugins and data and the users and access. We can give access to any other team service account or users to use Azure Monitor to get the data from here. So this is all about how we can enable the monitoring for the Azure SQL database and how we can monitor it on Grafana. Any questions? Am I audible?
Yes, Diksha.
Yeah, so that's it from my side. This is how we can monitor the Azure SQL using Azure Monitor and Grafana.
Guys, before we wrap up, I'll request if any of you are having any queries or questions, any doubts, so you can please feel free to mention those right away. Okay, I guess the reactions are coming and people are satisfied. So we can wrap up from here. Thank you, Diksha, for delivering the session, and thank you everyone for joining today. And hopefully, so I'll hopefully suggest you all that please be attentive, and once you receive the feedback forms, do fill out your feedback form, and we'd love to hear from you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your